Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It is me once again, screaming into the void of the internet. I'm at work, just got off. I was thinking about just, doing the usual, walk home. Not really I'm walking all the way home, but, I have to get off at the gate and then walk home and I'll sit on a bench. But I just decided, F it, my feet kind of hurt, so I'm just going to stay here real quick and shoot this video. And then I'll go, and when I just take the Uber, then I'll just walk all the way home, right? So, here's what I wanted to talk about. Funnily enough, that last video I made, talking about criticism and stuff like that, apparently there was some kind of shooting involving, let's say, tiny hat people, right? And I was looking at some people react to that, and they were talking about how they're comparing that to, good old Germany, shall we say, because I'm not even going to say the words, because good old cucktube, but you understand what I'm getting at, right? They were comparing it to that, and my thing is this. We're looking at a day and age where people are responding quite, how shall we say, passionately, okay? Passionately to things. And a lot of people feel like it's unjustified, but here's my thing, okay? Once upon a time, you needed to do tons and tons of digging to see if this stuff was true and whatnot. But now, everyone can see this stuff on video, right? And I'm not just talking about tiny hat people. I'm talking in general, right? Stuff that people want to talk about with gracism. Oh my goodness gracious, y'all are being gracist. Oh, they're just future entrepreneurs and all this bullcrap, right? Good old Blizzaks, Nibbas, brothers, whatever you want to call them, right? Oh, you shouldn't feel mad about that. Oh, well, we was slaves. But we was kings in Africa. You hear all this stuff, and then you look at who's stealing. You can see video footage time and time again of these mofos going into stores and just walking out with stuff. And people are getting fed up. And it's not just that. It's just a myriad of things. Everyone in general now has access to video evidence and video surveillance of people consistently pretending like they are innocent when all of the evidence literally proves otherwise. Look at how many women are being caught, right? They're being caught in adultery and stuff like that, but if they still go to divorce court, they win, no matter all the evidence. So, you see, let me explain to you something, okay, using that a shooting as a catalyst. While a lot of people want to sit around here and compare that to Germany, I want to make something very clear. You're looking at Z. This is going to be my new saying, boys, so you better get used to it. You're looking at Z. I want to see A to Y. Yeah. Because the fact of the matter is, that was building up. Should they have gotten those people? I don't think so. If they wanted to go after anyone, not that I'm advocating for it, cucktube, certain bankers, if you catch my drift. Yeah. Those mofos are the ones that you might want to deal with, right? The same way that that good old healthcare CEO got. You think people are just going to continuously be kicked around and stuff like that while people are sitting around causing the death of thousands, if not millions of people, collecting money in their pockets? No. Fact of the matter, folks, is whether people want to admit it or not, for the first time in history, okay, this is historical, we now have the ability to capture tons of dirt on people. You're not safe behind that little keyboard like you want to think you are. Even what I'm talking about right now, likely my phone is listening in. Yeah. You better listen, you better wake up. The FBI and stuff like that literally have technology where they can read radio waves and stuff like that, even if your crap is off. People have no idea. Oh, you're just a conspiracy nut. And they'll say that while having a freaking supercomputer in their hands, completely unwilling to actually do the research because they're scared of what they're going to find. So they'd rather just say you're a nut. And the only difference between a conspiracy theorist these days and, someone telling facts is time. It's time. That's the truth. You're in a day and age right now, right, where too much crap is consistently being shown and people are just saying, I am going to just take this into heart. If it comes down to freaking little hat people, I'm going to take that to heart. I want to know what the heck was going on in Germany. I want to know why they got kicked out of so many countries. And when you do your digging, right, you realize, hold up, if being oppressed, right, is the reason that we went into World War I and II, right? Tiny hat people being oppressed and persecuted. Why aren't we constantly at war, right? Why aren't we constantly at war? But when you really do some digging, allow me to tell you the truth, okay? I'm not going to go ahead and say too much, but what they really got pissed about is Germany pulled out of that federal fiat currency bullcrap. They had their own currency. The bankers had no power in that country when Mustache Man rose up. He excluded them from that bullcrap, and the bankers couldn't stand that because they was taking money from them. And he who holds the gold makes the rules, right? And guess what? The bankers in that case held the gold. So they made the rules. Because if that's the case, then why aren't we helping everywhere? Why aren't tons of American soldiers right now fighting in Ukraine? Why aren't tons of them fighting in Pakistan, all this stuff? If we're the so-called police of the freaking world, why aren't we just constantly at war with everyone? There's a lot more to this crap than meets the eye. And I'm not just talking about that, okay? I'm talking about stuff in general. Now you can see history about good old cocksuckers over here talking about, oh, slavery. We was kings, this, that, and the other, right? And they'll say that. Then you do some research about African history, and you realize that those mofos were slaves over there, too. Cutting each other's dicks off so that they can be eunuchs for these cocksuckers' wives. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Please, there is no freaking holy group. There's no group that's flawless. Every single group is flawed because humans are inherently flawed. Sorry, not sorry. I don't care who that offends. That's the truth. People will destroy each other. At this point, I'm convinced it's just in their freaking blood. The ability that I have to choose not to be a piece of crap, someone else has the ability to choose to be a piece of crap. Is what it is. And for the first time, again, unlike just having to listen in on people or be under espionage and all this stuff and blend in with their societies when you're a double agent, you don't have to do that anymore. You can just follow the money. You can look at the video footage. You can look at all this stuff and you can see it for the first time. And it's leading people to come to certain conclusions. Yeah. These tiny hat people, I wonder why the heck they get all this money when they aren't really paying any of it back. Whether it's relief efforts, whether it's looking out for, Americans as well, they don't pay any of it back. And so people start to get resentful, especially when you're an American citizen and you can't get any help. You can't get any help. The government says that, you need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, but apparently we're over here just throwing freaking Nikes, Jordans, freaking Timberlands, everything over there at Israel. We're throwing them all these shoes, and they're telling you to find bootstraps when you don't even got freaking toes these days. You don't even got toes, man. And they're telling you to get bootstraps. Right? Good old Blizzax cocksuckers. Right? They are consistently being seen on these police cams and all this stuff, attacking these officers, robbing these stores, doing all this crap. But then they want to sit around here and say, you shouldn't have the right to criticize us. Shove it up your arse. No. I have the right to criticize whatever the heck I got, dang please. Especially some ratchet cocksucker. And let me say this, as a guy with melanin in my skin, what you would want to call a nibba, a blizzax, a brother, I don't give a rat's arse. The truth of the matter is this, you're a freaking hood rat. You're an undesirable. Does that mean everybody with melanin in their skin is undesirable? Not necessarily. But a good number of you cocksuckers are. Because as far as I can tell, and as far as anyone can tell with a freaking brain stem, not a brain, just a brain stem, that is how much int is required to see this issue, okay? It is actively a culture that rewards and appraises crime. It is an active culture that rewards all kinds of immorality. Drugs, sleeping with your friends, wives and girlfriends, killing people, talking about how you smack. Their music is talking about bashing people's brains in, for God's sakes. And yet, we're not supposed to judge them. And just like everybody says, yeah, you dang right. Offended by everything. Offended by everything. They want to insult everybody else. And they think it's hilarious. They talk about, you white people. Oh, them Asians. Them Linglings. This, that, and the other. Oh, them Mexicans. They'll sit around there and ridicule everybody else, but the moment that somebody starts talking to them, oh, you can't say that, you use the N-word. You got the white privilege. Yeah. And people are getting sick of that. And it's about goddamn time. No. You don't, if you're one of these freaking clowns saying that you got white privilege, you need to go ahead and just take some water, splash that crap on your face and wake the heck up. Nobody's got privilege these days. Look at how many freaking Americans right now are barely getting by. Look at how many of them are living in freaking storage units. What kind of freaking privilege are you talking about? What privilege are you talking about? Take a moment and think for a minute. What privilege are you talking about? There's no privilege, sir. There's no privilege. There is no privilege. The only privilege I can really think of is pretty privilege, right? And maybe like just being born to the right folks. And at that point, I think there's a certain limit, you know, like if you were born to like say some freaking billionaire tycoon, yeah, that's a privilege. But if you were just born to like some people that have got some stable money, no, you just had some sane parents. And you better believe that in the Nibba community, ha 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 ha, parents, what? You got a father? Oh no, you want to go somewhere. Oh, you're talking in words other, ending in things other than nigga, bitch, sex, you know, fuck, shit. Oh, you think you're uppity. What, you got an expansive vocabulary? You must be talking like a white boy. Yeah, that's what goes on there. Everyone is waking up to all of this crap. Again, whether it's racism, antiseptic bullcrap, all this stuff. They're seeing that there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. Even in these good old relation craps, as I like to call them, right? Relationships. Everyone's waking up. Hold up. The chicks ain't always the victim. She ain't always innocent. Think about it. For God's sakes, right now, you got a prime example with this Diddy case. With that, I think her name's Carrie or something. Think for a minute, man. Think. This guy that she married, probably, right? Had no clue the depths of freaking depravity that this chick was doing. Sleeping with other men before she slept with Diddy. The diddler. And we're talking about doing that for hours. I think one of her sessions was like, what, like just 10 hours or something? Like, if not more than that. So I don't know if they was just eating and drinking in there while still going at it. Like, I have no freaking clue. I don't really desire to know. But the point that I'm making is this. She was not a victim in that. Oh, she's going to throw on them crocodile tears. The female manipulation. You better believe. And listen, you can measure this. Scientists have literally observed that the moment that chicks start crying, that testosterone that's going through your body, if you pissed, drops. It's an innate reaction to calm a situation. Don't fall for that bullcrap. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. You have all of this that people are seeing. All of this that people are waking up to. And again, they're coming to conclusions that are very uncomfortable for a lot of people. Why the hatred? Why the backlash? Why all this? Simple. Because more and more people are being exposed to truth. And truth makes a lot of people very mad when they were lied to. I don't know about you, but if somebody told me, hey, here's this, 2010 model, right? I don't know, Honda Civic. Because I'm over here trying to like get a car or something like that. And I'm not saying that I am. I'm using this as an example. I get a hold of that sucker. And somehow this thing like transfigures into a freaking 1980 thing rust bucket, right? A Buick or something. I don't know. And this thing is falling apart. You think I'm not going to be pissed about that? Especially after I've then purchased it? Yeah, that's what's going on. People are realizing that all of these things that they were telling you about, right? They were all lies. Does it mean that the groups and things that you are being exposed to are now just entirely like, just to blame for absolutely everything? Not necessarily. Not by a long shot. But it does, however, show and prove that there is a narrative that you do not see a lot of times. History always pushes the narrative of the victor. And the conquered will usually push the narrative that they are victims. But when you really do the research, what do you see? It's a little bit of both. No civilization was free from problems because people are not free from problems, right? This is something that we have to start understanding. That's why when you see songs like Kanye recently, and I'm not going to say what it is, right? But, you know, what happens? He gets banned everywhere. And think about it. Does it not just confirm the truth? If someone can rap about killing people, if someone can rap about slaughtering children in the womb and stuff like that, yes, I can pull up music right now with that. But saying Mustache Man, for all you know, like technically speaking, considering how so many people will literally say, oh, well, I'm talking about something extreme in a song, but it's a satire. You know, it's a freedom of expression. But the moment that he says, hell, Mustache Man, banned everywhere. Just proves his point, right? Those tiny hat people run the crap. Proves his point. A lot of people question, hey, do they need all this money? Oh, you're just being, you know, phobic and stuff like that. Right? You're being bigoted. You're antiseptic, right? It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what group it is, folks. People are being exposed to the truth. And it's leading them to some, again, uncomfortable questions. And uncomfortable conclusions that they are thinking about sometimes. Like, do we need to exterminate these people? Answer to that, simple. No, not all the time. It's usually head honchos that you need to get rid of. It's usually head honchos you need to get rid of. But I don't really think people have that in them as much, you know. You'll see like a bit of flare-ups here and there, but for the most part, people don't have it in them. Because if they did, realistically speaking, if you want to know who you should be going after, people right in your country. People running your country, air quotes. Because I don't know about you, but I don't see anybody living it up for the most part. And the ones that are living it up have had tons of years before they were living it up. It shouldn't be that hard. Getting a stable job and having enough to feed yourself, clothe yourself, pay rent, all that stuff, that should be simple. But they don't want it. They just want you to be a slave and shut your arse up. And if you got to freaking live in a storage unit or a freaking bathroom at a gas station, suck it up and keep coming to work. That's what they think of you. That's what they think of you. And again, people are coming to this and they're waking up and it's making them very mad. That's why this stuff is happening, and honestly, that's why it's going to continue to happen. Even if nobody is offline, right? Even if nobody is offline, they're going to come to conclusions that are going to say, hey, listen, when a Blizzax is taken up out of here, no pity. When a freaking insufferable cunt, whore of a woman is over here cheating on a mofo, and he gets out of that freaking courtroom and opens fire, no pity. These are going to be conclusions that people are going to come to because they are consistently being shown time and time again that everyone that is claiming to be a victim is not always a victim. Everyone claiming that the other party was at fault, even if true partially, they also are at fault. That's the truth. So, bringing this to a close, boys, here's what I'm going to tell you. Always, no matter how uncomfortable it feels, be willing to seek out the truth. Be willing to. Be willing to do the digging, no matter how uncomfortable it makes you feel, to find the truth. Because it's not right. It's not right to have it hidden from you. It's not right to be at the mercy of people, right? And just hoping that, well, I'm sure that, they're going to tell me what was right, what is correct, because, the narrative that they're spinning is just the truth. It's not because it's going to benefit them the most. It's just the truth, right? You know how much evidence of war crimes that America had to hide before it got whistleblown and released so much that they couldn't deny that it happened anymore? Fact of the matter is, there's no country you should trust. There's no government you should trust. There's no military you should trust. There's no religion you should trust. Nothing. All you need to be able to do is just do the digging, do the research, and come to some conclusions. Will your conclusions be the definitive, absolute, written in stone way that you see things? No, not necessarily. Different people have different perspectives shaped by their upbringings, and so it's going to lead them to different things. But we should all have the ability to see that knowledge and come to a conclusion. And people don't want that. That's why they're getting very upset. That's why they're trying to censor everything. And you need to be on top of that, guys. You need to. Because you might think, oh, this doesn't affect me. This is nothing. It absolutely affects you. All of these groups that I have listed will tie back to your life in some capacity. There may be a day where some chick accuses you of SA. There may be a day where you have to oh my God, what is going on here? Like, it's literally an empty road and an ambulance is just blasting. It's hilarious. But there may be a day where you have to deal with some ratchet threatening you in some capacity, trying to rob you or hurt you or something. There may be a day where apparently we get drug into a war for tiny hat people. It does affect you. You need to start asking some questions and doing some research and coming to conclusions for yourself. Don't just blindly follow the words of anyone, not me, not some so-called PhD scholar of history or whatever. It doesn't matter. You need to be willing to do the research and come to some conclusions. A lot of people will sit around and go, oh, I can't do that. I'm just going to trust their word and whatnot. And you can choose to do that. But at that point, you're choosing to be a sheep. You're just trusting that these people are telling you the truth. And the same way that they can choose to tell you the truth, they can also choose to tell you a lie. That's why I will always do my own digging. Whenever I'm reading a history documentary or watching one or, again, reading it, I'm always putting my own perspective into the matter. I don't just see them as always a victim or the oppressed or the villain or the hero or whatever. I just want to know what was going on. That's why I read both sides. I read the way that they spit it in the country of origin and the country of I don't want to say invasion or like the ones coming to like deal with it, right? I read a lot of stuff going on about Germany, a lot of stuff going on about like say like a lot of military campaigns throughout America. It's very, very insightful stuff, folks. It's very insightful stuff. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here and head on home because I got to come right back to this crap early in the morning. It's probably going to be approaching 1 a.m. as I say this. Probably going to get home around 1:40 or some bull crap. And I got to come right back here on probably 4 hours of sleep. And it is what it is. But we're grinding, boys, because that's what we got to do. Getting closer and closer to getting that second paycheck. And I can hopefully pay this security deposit. And we can work towards getting that room. So, I'm just trying to stay focused. All right, boys, thanks for listening, as usual. God bless. I will see you guys next time.